Welcome everybody to Saying It Like It Is. Today, I'm making a response to Linda Glenn. She made a video talking about Instacart shoppers are unhinged. And she's showing you all the shenanigans and the drama that goes down with Instacart delivery drivers and responses from customers of when they get in their groceries, the horror stories that they go through. And it might look like, for the most part, it's the delivery drivers for Instacart that they are at fault, but in reality, most of that, it's the fault of Instacart. To begin with, Instacart does not screen their drivers. They don't have a conversation with them. It's not like a W-2, where you sit down on the table and you communicate either with the owner of a business or their manager or assistant managers. And like in a W-2, they'll ask you questions. What's your experience? How many years you've been doing this? How are you supposed to treat customers? What do you do on delivery? How are you supposed to, let's say if it's related to the same thing as Instacart, where you do shop and deliver, how you're supposed to do an Instacart delivery compared to, let's say, a W-2 business when you're doing a shop and deliver. But with Instacart and the rest of the gig economy companies, they don't screen drivers. The only thing they screen is to want to make sure you have a driver's license, you have a registration, car insurance, your date of birth, and pretty much that's it. They do a background check and that's it. So, when you take that in consideration, anybody can be applying for all these gig economy delivery positions. And that's where, when you see in the horror stories what some of these Instacart drivers are doing, is that there's no oversight on these drivers. And here's another kicker. Some of these drivers, they might be taking any offer. It could be a low-paying offer, they'll accept it, and if they see on there's a trend with this particular driver that he's accepting any type of offer, a very low-paying or medium-paying or high-paying, any offer that comes their way, they'll accept it. They'll give props to that driver, even though he's a bad driver when it comes to shopping for these items, not doing the right substitution, checking the quality of the item that they're picking up, going the extra mile for the customer to make sure this delivery is done correctly. That will not be, let's say, investigated at all. Because they're seeing that this driver is making money for the company, with no matter how much the offer is paying, they're making more money in business for Instacart. And that's what they count on. And also, they get rewarded better. The bad drivers will get rewarded better, meaning if you're a bad driver but you're accepting every offer, they'll get more rewarded. Compared to a driver that's doing it the right way, and when they see something bad, they'll do a refund. And Instacart hates doing refunds. They like to get everything, as much money as they can from the customer. So if you're a good driver for Instacart and you see a bad item, a bad food item, and you put it in as a refund, they see that as a negative in Instacart. Because now Instacart is making less money on this offer compared to somebody else. Because Linda showed one of the 2 or 3 customers that got bad product. And since this driver will take anything, they'll pick up no matter what the quality of the item is, what condition is it in, they won't care. They'll just put it in with the order. And that will show the algorithm of Instacart that this driver is making more complete offers than somebody else that they don't make complete offers. They have offers with a lot of refunds in it. And they're all talking about, oh, if you look at it at a business perspective, I'm sorry, when people are getting bad quality food by Instacart drivers, that's wrong. That's wrong on every level. But here's another thing that Instacart does as well. When you try to do a refund on a bad quality item and you cannot find a substitution and you have to do a refund, and let's say they do have the item there, but it's in bad quality, so you're asking, the driver will ask to have a refund. We'll go on the app and try to refund it. The good driver. You get punished for doing that. You get penalized for doing that. And what Instacart does, for every refund, they remove $1 from the tips of the customer on Instacart's behalf without the customer being aware that some of their tips have been taken away by Instacart because a driver did a refund. I've already done this. I've made videos about it. Other Instacart drivers, they already know about this. You can go on Google and type in, why is Instacart removing customers' tips? And you'll get all that information. It's right there. Now, on Instacart's behalf, they say that they do that to prevent tip baiting by the customer, which is BS. The customer is not even aware that this is going on. And what I have not found out yet is the money that's been taken away from the tip, is it going back to their customer's account? Is the money being refunded out of those tips? That I don't know yet. That's another investigation that needs to be done. And that's why customers are getting all these bad items. Some of these bad items that they're getting is because the drivers know if they found the item, but it's in bad quality, but they can't find a substitution, they'll take that because they don't want to lose money out of their tips. Because Instacart forces drivers to pick up these bad items. By how? By penalizing drivers by doing the right thing. You're getting penalized by removing $1 by doing a good deed. You found the item, it's bad quality, so you're like, this does not deserve to be on a customer's order. But Instacart will punish you for doing that. And that creates a whole kind of paradox when you're working for Instacart. Damn if you do, and damn if you don't. And other situations where they'll just hire anybody, people who do not understand how this delivery service needs to be done, shop and deliver, and you'll have actual bad drivers that they're not doing it the right way, and you end up with these results because they don't screen drivers. And that also falls on the companies where they do not sit down and get some kind of an idea of a person. To see the quality of the person, that this is the right person we need for this type of job. They don't do that. It's pretty much a background check and car information, and that's all it is. It's appalling of the stuff that's going on. And also, with Instacart, the thing with the balsamic vinaigrette, where the driver end up picking up like a teriyaki, like Oriental teriyaki sauce to substitute it. Sometimes on the Instacart app, they'll put those kinds of substitutions in there that are totally not related to the original item. And in my previous video, I talked about that as well. And not only Instacart is doing that, Uber Eats is doing that as well. DoorDash is doing that as well with shop and deliver orders. The substitutions for either for fruits or vegetables or dairy or meats or chicken or whatever it is, or bread, where you don't find the item and the app will tell you these are the substitutions that are never related to the original item. It's total the opposite. Not even remotely close to the original item. So sometimes I'll have to do my own suggestion to pick up something that it is closer to the original item. So 80% of these issues are going on, it's on Instacart. And the 20% that falls under the drivers, it's still Instacart. Because they'll hire anybody. Good drivers or bad drivers, it doesn't matter. They'll just hire anybody. And they reward the bad drivers even more because they're completing more orders. And by not doing the right thing, they get rewarded as well. They put it down as most completed orders with no refunds and no substitutions. No matter, they don't care about the quality of what you're picking up. As long as they're getting the full amount of money from the customer, they could care less. So that's Instacart in a nutshell. Just to give Linda an idea that it might look like most of these things are happening because of the Instacart drivers, but in reality, most of the percentage, it falls under the Instacart company. They don't give a rat's ass for the customer and for their drivers as well, as long as they're making the money. Case closed. There might be a debate on this, maybe not, but hopefully she got a little bit more of an understanding of what's going on. So I loved her video. It was a very good video, very informative. And you guys can go there and subscribe to her. She makes a lot of very nice videos with a lot of information. And she shows you a lot of things that are going on in the gig economy and other stuff as well. So the link is going to be in the description. Click on it. Watch the video that I'm responding right now of hers. And also other videos. Watch her other videos. Because a lot of the other videos that she has, some of that is related to the gig economy. So with that, I'll let everybody go and catch you guys later.